It's going to be out of the J1B connector. So as I was saying, there's the numbers on the top from 1 to 7, top row, which is important because it's going to be looking at it like this, not like this. So I wrote down the color codes of each wire. So B5 and B6 has to be pulled out. That's injector number 7 and 8, which I don't have. So B5 and 6, 3 from the top right and 2 from the top right. B5 being orange, B6 being blue. And I've taped them. The orange and the blue. The next one is B18, which is pink and white. Second from the bottom, second row left, which is pink and white. That one right there, and I've taped that. B24, light green and white. Third from the bottom right, which is this one. So to pull these pins out, you got to squeeze these things down, and that will pop the tab on the other side, and then you can extract the pins. 1 second. Alright, and there you have it. So you got to push that tab in, it'll pop these two out, and then you can extract the pins. And those are the 4 that I'm taking out of this harness. And just like that, cylinder 8, B18, B24, cylinder 7, B5, injector G, B6, injector, which is this one, H, which is, what is it, 7 and 8. And those have been extracted from the harness. Okay, now that I've extracted these wires out of the harness for the extra 2 cylinders I don't have, I now have to, which is the other one, B14. This is the common ground for the smart coils, which is pin B, coil trigger ground. These can be all tied together. So I have to route this, which is wrapped here, B14. Is that it here? That's my chicken scratch writing. This is the one wire here. I have to route this all the way up, so that stays with this batch of wires for the smart coils. And now that I've gotten rid of the other 2, I only have 6 here. And after I put that one in there, now I can start pinning the harness right here and put my bulkhead connector in. Let's go. Okay, now that I got the wires out of J1B, I'm going to get the extra wires out of J1A. A1 is coming out, coil input, don't need that. A15, gauge digital out, don't need that one. And A27 is not being used, but it is populated in the harness, and that is coming out. So these two are going to be coming out. This is the coil input, which is here. I have to pull out the A27, which follows that one there, going all the way up to the top. That one's going to come out. Let's pull them out. Alright. Now I finally pulled out the wires out of J1A, the extra ones, those three. So now all of these are just extras if I need it for something else, which I will show you that I did use one of them already. So that is everything pulled out of this sucker. So I routed all of this going down, and as you can see, this one going here is to the battery and the wideband. This one follows outside of the passenger side grommet at the floor. And what I don't like what Holley did, this basically 15-foot wire that has to go directly to the battery, this is where they put the fuse. That is a no-no for me. Because say if I have a problem at the grommet by the firewall, I'm just going to burn my car down because the fuse is right over here. So that has to come out of it. And that's going to be at the end, just before the battery. Don't know why they would do that. But if there's a problem right here, I'm going to melt my car right to the ground because the fuse is way over there. That's not going to happen. Now everything is organized. My little pin for pulling out all the stuff. So this is keyed ignition that goes in, powers the ECU. These are my input coils, not coils, these are just my input pieces that I'm going to put on a connector with the outputs. You have, I guess I have about 4 extras here and here. These are the positive, these ones are the negative. This is what I have to run to the back of the car for my alky. I have sorted out these wires. I've pulled out the extra ones for the, here's the bulkhead. So I pulled out the extra ones that is going out for the injectors and the smart coils. So this one here is for my IAC. This one here is for the smart coils. And I brought the other one up here that I need for that, which was the B14. This is what all of the coils get tied into and brought back to the ECU. These are all 6 of the injectors. Shielded wire for cam and crank. And these are all the single leads for my sensors. TPS, alky. This is the common ground right there. And that one's there. And the extra wire that I had taken out of there, I used it right here. So this is going to be my 12 volts. So I have, for my dome pressure switch, my boost solenoids, I have the 2 B10 and A13 are going to be for the boost solenoid, and I'm going to have this as the positive side that I'm going to tee into both of those lines. So that completes that. That completes the battery. She's pretty much done right now. Now I can start pinning it right over here. Cut the harness, put my bulkhead connector in it, and then start looming this going to the ECU. I can start looming this going to the grommet. So both those spots can be loomed after that, but first I'm going to pin this. And then I'm going to do the lengths. I'm going to run my common sensor grounds, the common 5-volt reference. Still not sure what I'm going to do or where I'm going to mount the coils yet, but that's the least of my worries right now. I'm just going to leave full length on the opposite side of that. Not bad. Not bad at all. Easy peasy. Chicken wheezy. And for those of you that think that this harness is garbage, this same harness is what guys use to build their own harnesses that make 4,000, 3,000 horsepower to the tire twin turbo cars. That's why I'm using the same thing too, because it already comes pinned. Unlike my XFI, I had to pin these things all individually and run them all to the end. These are all color coded and pinned right at the ECU, so why would I want to do that? If this works for cars that make over 4,000 to the tire, I'm not even going to make a quarter of that. I'm straight. Ricketts racing for the win, buddy. Stay tuned. Part 3.